A community is rich and complex. It's children playing, learning, parents teaching, protecting, elders guiding. But it's so much more. It's about history, ancestry, and legacy.
You know what? I love living here. Our roots go deep.
Are you saying I'm a tree?
You just need to branch out your thinking a bit.
A community's deep roots can be threatened by external systems and decisions. For example, the huge palm oil plantation in this community, funded by international agencies, is harming the community's environment and robbing people of their land and livelihoods.
What can we do to stop this?
We need to know more about the company operating this palm oil plantation. They are harming our community. How can we make them listen to us?
Do we know anyone who can help us get more information?
I hear a representative from an organization that knows about situations like ours will be at the community meeting today.
Maybe they will know where to start.
We are tired of the damage this plantation is causing our community. What can we do?
Well, there are a few options if you want to demand change. You could approach the national courts, which might stop the project or grant compensation. However, court cases can be expensive and time-consuming, and the decisions are uncertain.
That sounds tough. What else can we do?
We could file a case to the African Court or the African Commission, but these processes are also very long and complex, and favorable rulings won't necessarily result in remedy for our community.
Are courts our only option?
There are also compliant officers at major international investors like the World Bank or the African Development Bank, which exist to hold companies and project financiers accountable for harm caused to communities. These are not perfect, but they are worth considering.
Many international investors make promises to respect communities' human and environmental rights and have created more approachable complaint offices which have fewer barriers than courts. They allow communities themselves to demand remedy through investigation or negotiation.
I'd like to make a complaint, please.
Communities don't need a lawyer to access these offices. However, these offices are not courts and are unable to enforce any agreement or recommendation they make.
This sounds interesting. We can defend our rights ourselves and tell them exactly what we need to fix the harm they caused.
Ultimately, communities will need to put pressure on investors to follow through on any commitments. This may require media attention, advocacy with senior officials, and more. Some communities receive meaningful remedy through these processes, and some do not. The community needs to make an informed decision about whether this strategy is the right one for them.
How do we know which office to send our complaint to?
There are civil society organizations that specialize in supporting communities to approach these international complaint offices, like the African Coalition for Corporate Accountability, ACCA, or Accountability Counsel, AC.
We can research where the financing for the plantation is coming from. It won't be easy. Investment chains are often complex, but maybe one of the agencies investing in the plantation has an accountability office.
This feels like a good start. Why don't more communities file complaints with accountability offices?
They are powerful tools, but there is still a wide range of barriers that could make the process difficult or even dangerous.
Some communities are unable to access accountability offices due to a lack of information about what they are and how to use them, as well as financial, linguistic, geographic, and time constraints. Threats of retaliation and efforts to silence dissent are sadly common and can make it dangerous for communities to speak up. There's also no guarantee of any particular outcome. This strategy, like all strategies, has risks.
What about COVID? We don't want anyone in our community to get sick, but the restrictions are so difficult.
Restrictions on movement may prevent community organizing, communication, trainings, and interaction with Accountability Office representatives. Limited access to technology often prevents the possibility of virtual alternatives. Fortunately, complaint officers are still receiving complaints and developing better virtual tools in case in-person visits are restricted.
We don't even speak the same language as the plantation company investors. How can we defend our home?
Most compliant offices accept complaints in any language.
With all this crucial information, we must decide as a community what path to take.
A community is stronger than the barriers caused by global investment systems because the community's roots go deep. They're embedded in family, tradition, and cultural values.
We are stronger than this system.
We are united. We hold the power.
By utilizing their own intrinsic power and by gaining new knowledge with the aid of civil society organizations, they can weather the storm. They can regain control of their land and lives.
You were right. Our roots go deep. This gives us strength.